Lesson 40, Business and Finance. Hello, and welcome to this lesson. Today, we are going to learn useful vocabulary for talking about business trends, changes in sales and prices, profits and losses, the economy, inflation, loans, interest rates, trade, and recession. A. Rise and fall. We use several verbs to describe trends, which are movements or changes in figures such as sales and prices. When sales or prices become higher, we can say that they rise, go up, or increase. The size and speed of the change can be described in different ways. A figure may rise slightly, meaning that it increases by a small amount. It may rise gradually, meaning that it increases slowly over a period of time. It may also rise sharply, meaning that it increases quickly and by a large amount. When sales or prices become lower, we can say that they fall, go down, or decrease. These changes can also happen slightly, gradually, or sharply. When there is no increase or decrease, the figures stay the same. Describing the amount of change. We use by to state the amount of an increase or decrease. For example, the price has risen by 10 pence. We use from and to give the figures before and after a change. For example, sales fell from 8,000 units to 6,500 units. Using rise, increase, fall and decrease as nouns. The words rise, increase, fall, and decrease can also be nouns. When they are nouns, they are often followed by in. For example, there has been a gradual rise in prices. A gradual rise is an increase that happens slowly. We have seen a slight increase in profit. A slight increase is a small increase. There has been a sharp fall in sales. A sharp fall is a large and rapid decrease. We can use of before the amount of a change. For example, profits were £5 million, which is a decrease of 10%. Language help, profit and loss. Profit is the money a business receives after it has paid all its costs. For example, last year, the company made a profit of £2 million. The expression make a profit means that a business earns more money than it spends. The opposite is make a loss, which means that the business spends more than it earns. B. The economy and loans. The economy is the system through which a country's trade, industry, and money are organized. When the economy improves, banks may report positive signs. A sign is something showing that a particular change is happening. One possible positive sign is that the number of loans is increasing. A loan is money that someone borrows and later pays back. Inflation and interest rates. Inflation is the rate at which prices increase. When inflation is expected to rise, there may be growing fears that interest rates could go up. Growing fears are worries that are becoming stronger or more common. For example, there are growing fears that interest rates could go up by as much as 2% next year. The expression as much as 2% shows that the increase could reach that amount. International trade. Figures are amounts presented as numbers. Published figures may show changes in trade between countries. Trade is the buying and selling of goods and services between different countries. For example, trade between the two countries has risen for the 5th year in a row. The expression in a row means one after another without a break. Currency value and company sales. The value of a currency is the amount of money for which it can be exchanged or sold. For example, the value of the pound fell slightly against the dollar. A company may also report that its sales have risen during the most recent quarter. In business, a quarter is a period of 3 months. Positive sales figures may raise hopes that the economy is improving. To raise hopes means to make people feel more hopeful. The verb raise means to increase something and must normally have an object. For example, the company raised its prices. By contrast, Rise does not take an object. For example, the prices rose. Recession. A recession is a period when the economy is not successful. When conditions begin to improve, we can say that the country may be coming out of recession. For example, the rise in sales has raised hopes that we may be coming out of recession. Language help, interest and interest rates. Interest is the money that a bank charges you when you borrow money. An interest rate shows how much interest you must pay as a percentage of the amount borrowed. For example, if you borrow £100 for 1 year at an interest rate of 15%, you must pay back £115.